It is Thursday night, November 11th, 2021, and you're listening to a brand new episode of the Kicking Out Podcast. I'm Tanner Lee, along with my co host, Paul Zartman. Happy Veterans Day, everybody out there. Thank you for everybody who has served in the military at one point and who's also currently serving. If it wasn't for you all, we would not have the privilege to even do this podcast. Paul, how are you doing tonight?
I am tired.
I'm sure you are.
It was about 1 o'clock when I got to about quarter till 1 when I got to bed. I woke up at a quarter till 2. Thought I overslept for work, and then it was like every 20 minutes after that, I just kept waking up.
And for everybody who's listening or watching that might not know what we're talking about, Paul and I were lucky enough to be live in attendance last night at AEW Dynamite, which was live in Indianapolis, Indiana at the Farmers Coliseum down there in Indianapolis. Second time we've been able to go to that. The last time was in 2019, also in November. Fun show last night, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I enjoyed the more of the commercial break stuff, like we were talking about, than I did the show. But that was just because it's a different feel than it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, the company's, just in such a, of course, you're going to be in a better spot when you're 2 years older as a company, but so many more talents have signed with the company. They have so much more experience as a company. But yeah, I thought the matches were good last night too. It was a good go home show.
Yes, yes. And if you haven't been on social media, there was a special post Dynamite segment for a gentleman who found out that he was cancer free yesterday.
Yes, his name was Joe.
Yeah, I do not remember the last name. Cody tried really, really hard to get it correct. So props to Cody. But congratulations, Joe. 1-0 in AEW at that.
Yep, Cody did the job last night.
Yeah,
So that
he
was
did.
really cool after the show. And if you follow us on social media, I'm working on putting the videos up on our Facebook, and it'll be on our YouTube hopefully tonight, if not tonight, tomorrow. So Paul did a good job recording some of that. So you'll see some of those after Dynamite videos. And Paul did a good job taking about 150 photos. I think I
That I
uploaded like
submitted to
100.
you.
Yeah, I think I uploaded like 140. So
Yeah.
those are on our Facebook page. So go check those out. Of course, they're not on Instagram or Twitter due to not having
The option.
the
to
ability to
upload.
put more 4 on Twitter or 10, I
Yeah.
believe, on Instagram or whatever maybe.
Yep.
But yeah, fun show last night. Of course, we can go a little bit here. Show opened last night with Brian Danielson against the American Dragon. Brian Danielson against Ricky Romero. Fun match, long match,
It was.
as expected. In the end, Brian got Ricky to tap out
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
tequila sunrise.
Is that what they're calling that?
Yes.
Okay. So I wasn't sure. I know he still uses some of the similar move sets to what he had prior, and I didn't know what the names were now. Sometimes they change them. Sometimes they're like, you can keep it.
Sure. So yeah, it's a fun match. Rocky Romero has been a guy that's been all over the world
Yes.
wrestling. And did you see or did you read where Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends accepted the invitation to join Chaos?
I did not.
Yep.
Okay.
So new
Okay.
faction there formed.
Yeah. Yep.
After that, we saw Tony Schiavone in the ring. He hyped up the Minneapolis street fight between the Inner Circle and America Top Team. Inner Circle starting to come out. The crowd's feeling it. Cena and Judas get interrupted when America Top Team jumps the Inner Circle, pretty much beats the crap out of them, puts Jericho through a table. Then Lambert put Jericho on the walls of Jericho. Scorpio Sky grabbed the microphone and Jericho's arms and made him tap out. Ethan Page then grabbed the microphone and says America Top Team is the most powerful team in AEW.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
That angle came off to me weird live in person. I have not watched it back on TV.
I have not either. I know there were a couple of promos for upcoming matches throughout the night that were on Dynamite that we didn't see live. So I want to go back and rewatch some of those. But I don't know. I think it's because of where we were sitting. I think if we might have been centered more with the ring, it might have looked a little bit better. But I cannot get behind American Top Team.
Yeah, I got my thoughts on them coming up in our predictions for Full Gear towards the end of the show, so I don't want to ruin anything right now.
Yeah.
But it's mostly the same thing Lambert's done at other stops he's been at in the past. Comes in, plays a heel character for a little bit, then leaves.
Yeah.
So
Crowd definitely hated Dan Lambert last night.
I was just bummed that didn't get seen Judas. Every other place gets to sing it.
Well, we got to sing a little bit of it.
Just a tad. I mean,
about 30 seconds of it.
Yeah, about the shortest anybody's ever seen it at a venue.
Yeah, but it was awesome hearing what little bit it was actually live and not through a TV screen.
But that's what I was looking forward to when the music stops and everybody continues. That's what I was looking forward to, and it didn't happen. That was disappointing.
Yeah, I know. And at one point, Sammy got thrown into the steps.
Yep.
Caught that part from my angle.
Santana got thrown into steps.
Oh, was it Santana?
Mm-hmm.
It looked like Sammy from my angle. I see.
Yeah, Santana. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the other 4 members got taken out early.
Yeah. I did have a little bit of a chuckle when the refs came down to help Inner Circle out of the ring. Aubrey was the one who grabbed Sammy. It just, watching Sammy's vlog and knowing how good their friendship is, it just made me chuckle. It was like, see, even in, on TV, she's picking Sammy up off the ground, helping drag his ratings up.
Yep. After that, we saw a 6-woman tag match. Dr. Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Rebel against Tay Conte, Anna Jay, and Thunder Rosa. Fun match here. I really enjoyed the spot of Thunder Rosa going off the top rope and onto Jamie Hayter on the outside. In the end, we got Tay Conte hit Rebel with DDT and pinned Rebel to get the win. Britt Baker thought about getting into the ring to break up the pin, but chose not to. So then the 3 women celebrated. Fun match there.
It was a fun match. It was nice seeing. I know they planned it, but it was kind of nice seeing all 3, Ty, Anna, and Thunder Rosa all in pink, kind of matching, even though they had slightly different attire on.
Yes, and it was nice. Of course, you keep Ty Conte and Britt Baker's rivalry going into Saturday. And then also Jamie Hayter and Thunder Rosa, who are going to be against each other in the TBS tournament coming up. So.
Yeah, and in those pictures somewhere on Facebook that we uploaded is a picture of Thunder Rosa mid jump.
Yeah, that was an awesome one of the spots of the night, in my opinion.
Yes.
We then got Anna Jay's boyfriend, Jungle Boy, against Anthony Bowens, who alongside him was Max Caster, who had a fun rap before.
Yes, he did.
At Jungle Boy a little bit. This match went on a lot longer than I thought it was going to.
I figured this was probably going to be a 2 or 3 minute match and it was going to be over.
Jungle Boy got the win.
Yes, he did.
He made Bowens tap out with the snare trap. After the match, Bobby Fish runs down and attacks Jungle Boy. Finally, Jungle Boy gets saved by Christian Cage and Luchasaurus, which I was surprised Luchasaurus didn't accompany him to ringside anyways.
Right. Kind of made me feel like something was up.
Right.
That's one of those, if they're not together, something's going to happen at some point.
Right. I leaned over to my girlfriend who went to the show with me. And I was like, that was interesting, this Bobby Fish angle. I was like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. But I said, maybe the Super Click maybe sent him down there. That's the only thing I could think of. Come to find out a little later, that was the case.
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting to see. I like the stabs at the Undisputed Era in that little promo.
Yeah, it was backstage. We saw Super Click Adam Cole and Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks. Adam Cole tells Bobby Fish that he will wrestle Jungle Boy at Rampage this week. The Young Bucks welcome Bobby Fish to AEW and say he's new around here. Matt Jackson tells Bobby Fish that there's no dispute. Yeah, like you said, a little shots there. So just interesting. I liked how it all tied together.
This is the Super Click era, not disputed.
Yep. We then got a match that was not advertised ahead of time. Wheeler Yuta versus Wardlow. This was a squash match. Wardlow hit 6 power bombs.
I know.
For a quick victory.
The original Best Friends music was back, and that was the most exciting part.
I think they always play that for Wheeler, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think.
he's normally down on dark or dark elevation,
Right.
so I don't catch his stuff. But it was nice hearing that when that hit, I got a little too excited.
Yeah. I just was excited seeing Wardlow. I'm ready for him to be a face. He's going to be a huge star when they're ready.
Well, the crowd was definitely behind Wardlow last
Oh, it
night.
was fun. It was just fun to watch him put on a power show.
Oh, absolutely.
After the match, we saw Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy checking on Wheeler Yuta. However, both of them got attacked by the Hardy family office. Matt Hardy had a steel chair around the neck of Orange Cassidy and hit him with a twist of fate.
Yeah, I was wondering the way that there was pauses in between everything. It was like, okay, is Trent returning tonight? And nobody told us. But that wasn't the case. But I mean, just the way that there were pauses and little segments throughout that segment just made it feel like something else was going to happen.
Well, they showed Matt Hardy on TV in the crowd giving Cassidy a thumbs up at one point. So I'm like, okay, that's 2 weeks in a row. Hardy's gonna do something. That's Matt Hardy gets in these rivalries that just last for months.
Yeah, sometimes they get a little too pointless,
Mm-hmm.
but I it's just kind of who Matt is.
Interesting to see the Blade in Isaiah Cassidy
Yeah,
alongside Matt. No Mark Quinn, no Butcher.
yeah. Butcher came back and Butcher disappeared just as quick, it
Mm-hmm.
seems.
Then we got a really fun match. Matt Seidel and Lee Moriarty, newly signed Lee Moriarty to AEW against Dante Martin and Leo Rush, making his Dynamite debut. Boy, was this fun. A lot of flips, a lot of high flying action. Leo Rush showing off his speed. In the end, Dante Martin hit Lee Moriarty with his finisher and pinned Lee for the win. So
Yeah.
big win for Dante and Leo, who did go out of the face tunnel.
Yes, and interesting tidbit. At first, when I saw Lee Moriarty coming out, I almost thought he had a goat mask on until I saw
Yeah,
the image behind him and realized, oh, it's not. But just the way from our angle, the way everything looked, I was like, okay, is this kind of a reference to another person that they want in AEW? But
according to Tony Khan, they don't want him, but
yeah, okay. The
we'll see.
fans do.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Tony today. I would assume you're talking Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony said today, unless he's lying, that he hasn't talked to Wyndham in a long, long time.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, Wyndham did just land his first movie role. So
Right. He is in
congratulations to him.
Tennessee filming something right now, so
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll have wrestling opportunities if he wants to in the future. But
Yeah, he'll probably do like Punk, take some time off, do some
you know,
movies, and then come back.
yep, we will see with that. But I'm taking Tony for his word for it. Of course, he could be
Oh yeah.
fibbing for a big surprise, maybe
Yeah.
potentially this weekend. Who knows? Got to think somebody's gonna make a debut at Full Gear. They like to save those
Yeah.
for pay-per-views.
Yeah.
We then got the last match of the night. That was Dax Harwood with Tully Blanchard by his side against Pac. This was another fun, hard-hitting match. These guys were laying it in to each other.
Yes. Yes. I mean, this was nonstop. I wasn't sure how this match was going to come out, honestly.
I thought Pac would get the win. I mean, Dax is more of a tag team wrestler than he is a singles opponent, but he held his own. I mean, he had
Yeah.
a few big brain busters. I was disappointed we never saw the Falcon Arrow from Pac. I was really excited.
I
He
know.
stood up a few times for it, but never could get it. In the end, he made Dax tap out with the brutalizer. Dax had the athletic tape on his shoulder, so selling that shoulder injury.
Mm-hmm.
Then after the match was over, we saw Cash Wheeler run down to the ring and attack Pac. Then the lights go out. When they turn back on, Andrade El Idolo and your boy Malachi Black were in the ring. They started attacking Pac. The Lucha Bros come down. Cody Rhodes comes out from the stands, and they make the save. All begin the brawl, leading to which you and I kind of thought it was going in that direction. Cody and Pac versus Malachi and Andrade Saturday at Full Gear.
Yeah, it's a good way to get Cody back on the card. He said he's missed too many pay-per-views. He doesn't want to miss any more. But this is a way to do it without putting him in a singles match or in a match for the TNT Championship or something like that. This is a nice little way where it's not focused on Cody, but Cody's still on the card.
According to Meltzer, the Cody Rhodes plans changed a few weeks ago. It was supposed to be a fatal 4-way match between all 4 of
Oh,
these guys, and direction changed into a tag match.
okay. All right.
So I don't
I
know
would,
what stipulation there was going to be from the outcome of a fatal 4. So if you just have a fatal 4-way without like a number 1 contender or anything on it, that's a little strange. But
yeah, yeah. But cheers for Cody last night
yes,
in Indy. So Indy is Cody country, apparently.
I think that promo a few weeks ago really helped him with a lot of AEW fans.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. So that should be a fun one. And Paul, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your Malachi interview? I know it is up on our channel. Whether you watch our stuff on Facebook or follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, listen wherever you listen to podcasts. It's up wherever you want it on ours, but you got some pretty good publicity from that.
Yeah, was not expecting it. You actually caught me in the middle of the trading post for my actual day job, and I didn't know what was going on. So I'm like trying to carry that on. I see your text and I click on the story and I'm like, okay, this is cool. Malachi kind of said something about that. Clicked on the story. I'm scrolling through and I see Giant FM Real Radio. Started out with Fightful covering the interview that I did with Malachi Black, which if you have listened to the interview, you know he's talked about some possible character changes. And that has seemed to spark a lot of interest around Malachi Black now. But yeah, Fightful covered it off the bat, and then just throughout the day and even into yesterday, I was still seeing new stories popping up about it. So yeah, people are really, really interested in what's going on with Malachi Black, and I was excited to be the one who interviewed him as he made those announcements about, possible additions to the House of Black. It's not a house until people are living in it, as he said. Possible changes to his character. Really was excited to find out where he got the idea for Malachi Black.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Celtic god. I cannot pronounce the god's name. I apologize. I'm not even going to try it. I've looked at it several times, can't pronounce it, but he said it's kind of based off of that, kind of based off of his family heritage. And of course, lots of cool stuff with the character, but it was a great interview. I only had 7 questions and it turned out to be a lot longer interview than I expected because he gave long-winded answers, which is great. If you've listened to the Young Bucks or Cody Rhodes interview that I did 2 years ago ahead of Dynamite, I kind of had to pry a little bit more on those guys. But Malachi, I was like, where'd you get the idea for this character? 4 minutes later, I got to ask another question.
Right. Yeah. He made it easy on you.
Yes, he did.
So, but good job, Paul. Happy
Thank
for you
you.
that you got the interview. You did a very good job, and hopefully, many more opportunities like that come your way.
I'm hoping. I've got emails sent out. Going to reach out to the gentleman again about a little Hoosier girl who had a big reaction last night.
Ruby.
Yes.
Not Rudy. Ruby.
No. Yes. And of course, interesting when fans misunderstand what you're saying when you say Ruby Soho.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Yep. And then we got to the main event of the show last night, which was Tony Schiavone in the ring for the AEW World Title contract signing between champion Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page. It was neat. They showed on Jumbotron the Dark Order and the Elite leaving the arena because Tony Khan banned both groups from being ringside for the signing. Because I knew some shenanigans were going to happen. Somebody's going to go through a table, or the table's going to get flipped, or something. And I figured the Elite we were going to get an appearance until he made that announcement.
Yeah.
So,
which was weird because we didn't have that announcement when it popped up on the Jumbotron in the arena. So commentary might have said something about it prior, but from our angle, it was just this video. The Elite's leaving. They're picking on Cutler. The Dark Order's walking out. And I'm like, okay, what's this all about? And then we got the announcement from Schiavone.
Pretty standard contract signing. A lot of jabs at each other. A lot of trash talk. And then Kenny wants to shake Hangman's hand before they duke it out Saturday. So something was up. But Hangman gets up, shakes Kenny's hand, but then turns around and gets clocked by a camera guy who ends up being Don Callis, which was
Creepy
interesting
Uncle
because I was
Don.
just thinking the other day, we haven't seen Callis on TV for about 3 or 4 weeks.
It's been longer than that.
Has it?
Yeah, because he disappeared shortly after the story broke about him not having much to do with Impact anymore, or being released from Impact, or whatever it was.
Yeah, because we haven't seen the Good Brothers, which I
No.
think that's more of the relationship between Impact and AEW kind of being broken. But yep, Callis hits Hangman with the camera, busts him open. And I did like this part. Kenny signs the signature with Hangman's blood. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Signed in blood. It's a done deal.
Hopefully, if people weren't bought into that story going into Saturday, they are now.
Yeah. And of course, Hangman with some cowboy shirts, as people were saying. Bringing up Kenny's previous tag partner before him. So it was kind of a nice little throwback if you followed Kenny's legacy.
I still think we got to get that eventually. Ibushi coming over here eventually.
More and more references to it.
I know. That's not by mistake.
And the New Japan Pro Wrestling champion, I don't know which one, challenged Punk to a match.
Will Ospreay?
No. Another one. Claims he's the best in the world, so he said that he wants to prove it against Punk.
I saw Kenta called out Punk.
There we go, Kenta.
Well, they use the same finisher.
Yeah.
And Kenta's been in AEW a little bit, so earlier this year. So we'll see. We'll see where all that goes. But overall, great for the show. It's different being there than on TV.
It is.
And as I was telling my girlfriend last night, I think some segments come off better live and some others come off better on TV.
Yeah. There are those that are better because they're positioned for the camera. So if you're not sitting on the camera side, you don't get the best view.
Like for me, the whole Inner Circle America Top Team, I'm sure I'll enjoy watching that on TV more than I did in person.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the brawl with Cody, the Lucha Bros, Malachi, Andrade, FTR better in person than I probably will on TV.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. I was taking pictures of Black when Cody appeared, so I had no clue where he came from at all.
He came running out of the stands. I saw him like the last 5 rows when he was running.
Man, maybe that's why I watched the camera guys walk past me.
Yeah.
That was the fun part. I got to watch all the camera guys move past. And
when Malachi pretty much told you the other day he was going to be in Indianapolis, I'm like, he's got to show up eventually. And this match being a member of FTR and Pac, I'm like, it's got to be after this match.
Oh, I was waiting for the lights to go off. I figured it'd be either after or during the match at some point. Or Andrade would come out to attack Pac, and then that would lead to Black coming out. But overall grade, man, I'm gonna give it an 8.
8? Okay. I'll go 7.5.
Okay. All right. Like I said, I had the perfect angle at all the equipment. So like I knew when we were getting ready to go to a commercial break post match or whatever. So watching Justin Roberts do the stuff he's done or did last night just made me enjoy it so much more.
Well, he's a pro's pro.
Yeah.
Done a long time.
And of course, Justin Roberts invited everybody in Indianapolis to go to every single Dynamite going forward.
Yes,
but I don't think he's going to pay for our tickets.
I don't think so either. Got to think they'll probably be back, I would think, next year. It'll be interesting to see if it's November again. If so, then that's just going to become a recurring thing.
That's going to be hey, I need to start saving as much money as possible for November because I want to get front row eventually.
I keep thinking maybe it's time for them to run a bigger venue, Game Bridge Fieldhouse, where the Pacers play. But the more I think about it, WWE runs shows there, so I don't know if AEW and WWE can run shows at the same venues. I'm not sure how all that works.
Speaking of, they'll be in Indy next Monday.
Right. And that's kind of what made me say that. I'm not sure if that's a thing or not, if they don't run in the same arenas. I know AEW likes to run in small arenas, but like Full Gear this Saturday, they're running at the Target Center where the Minnesota Timberwolves play. That's not a small arena. That's a big arena. So
yeah,
it would be nice to start running some bigger arenas. But if you can't, you can get close to selling out a small arena like this. So
yeah, and it was pretty sold
pretty
out.
full. It was pretty
Yeah,
full.
and of course, when I went to look at tickets, I ended up getting a press pass through the radio station, which is how I got the Black interview. But when I was able to finally get in and buy tickets, there were none available.
You have to like get in right when they go on sale, or you can't get any unless you want to pay a ton on the secondary market.
Right, and I know a couple guys I was standing with in line said they bought 2 tickets Monday or Tuesday for the show. Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And there were floor seats available as of yesterday morning. So I don't know if tickets can be returned if you can't make it to the show after all, or how that all works. But so some tickets did become available, but again, it seemed like it was a sold out show, so nobody went for those extra tickets, I think.
Right. I think last I checked on there's a ticket Twitter I follow, WrestleTix at WrestleTix. If you don't follow them on Twitter, do so. They do a great job of keeping track how many tickets are available, all that. 2 days ago there was like 800 tickets remaining or something like that. So I don't know what the final count was.
I don't either.
Who was your wrestler of the night last night?
Actually, I do follow them. I just went to look. I do follow them on Twitter. Who knew? Man, I had it. Now I forget who it was. It's a tag team. I'm going with Leo Rush and Dante Martin.
Leo Rush's birthday's today.
Yeah, happy birthday, Leo.
Yeah, I was gonna go Leo Rush just individually, but since you did that, I will flip gears.
Well, while you think, I'll explain why I went with those two. We've watched Dante and Leo work together in promos for weeks on Dynamite, and Dante always seemed a little standoffish, like he wasn't really into this, but they had great chemistry last night. Once they got into that ring, I mean, they had very similar gear, of course, each similar to themselves, but they worked really well together, and I enjoyed everything they did together. Leo calling out for Dante to hit his big move off the top rope, which won him the match, was great.
I think I'm gonna go with Bryan Danielson.
Okay.
Good win over Rocky Romero. I think right now Bryan's the wrestler of the year. I mean,
I agree.
I was explaining to my girlfriend last night. This is a guy who wrestled in the main event in a triple threat match in WrestleMania back in April, and now he's having great matches every week on AEW television. It's just insane.
Man,
just insane.
That chant was loud last night for him.
Oh yes. He got probably the second biggest. CM Punk got the biggest tonight, but that was after AEW went off the air. So
yeah, but for actual television time, it's got to go to Danielson.
Yep, Danielson. Jungle Boy got a loud one.
Yeah.
Jericho got a loud one.
A lot of woos, yeses, and Judases.
Yep. This is awesome chance.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit chance.
I think This Is Awesome broke out like twice every match almost.
So I was hearing some fight forever. It's from Pac and Dax, and I'm like, it seems like it is gonna fight. They are gonna fight forever.
Heard a few kick his head in during Bryan Danielson's match.
Yep.
From the back of the arena.
Yep. Heard some of those too around me. So fun show. If you've never been to an AEW show, whether it's Dynamite, Rampage, or a pay-per-view, and there's one close to you in your area, I suggest going. They're really fun.
Absolutely. It was a blast. Like I said, 2 years ago was great. I didn't think anything was going to beat that, but this one definitely did.
It did for sure.
So,
all right, Paul, it's time for the meat of the show. Full Gear's coming up Saturday. Big pay-per-view, the 4th of the year for 2021. AEW runs 4 pay-per-views a year, like everybody knows. Revolution, Double or Nothing, All Out, Full Gear. So here we are, Target Center. I'm putting this bad boy on the line. I'm gonna wear it just so. And I gotta get
there today, but it's gonna be here next Wednesday.
I gotta get in the mood for my predictions here.
Oh, all right, Kenny.
Let's do this.
All right.
Prediction time.
Let's do it.
Starting with the pre-show match that I did not know was even announced till today. Nyla Rose and Jamie Hayter versus Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa.
This was easy for me. I went Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa hands down.
Yes, I picked Thunder Rosa and Shida as well. How many points did you put on it? We have 10 points available.
Oh, we're putting point. Oh man, now I got to redo all this because I didn't realize we were going to put points on the pre-show. So I've got to do that real quick.
Yeah.
I'll
let you take your time.
Yeah, because I got to redo all of my predictions now because that makes things a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, because I think these two women are going to be victorious over their opponents in the TBS tournament. So that's why I'm going with them. And I think
agreed.
Just the star. I mean, I know Nyla Rose is a former AEW Women's Champion, but so is Shida. In Thunder Rosa, we didn't even talk about the women's pops last night. Of course, Britt got a huge pop, but Thunder Rosa got a huge pop as well.
Yes, she did.
So I think fans really, really appreciate what she brings to the table. So I will let you know. I'm going with Thunder Rosa and Hikaru Shida for 5 confident points.
I literally just wrote a 5 right next to that. So
all right,
I'm right
starting
there
off
with
good.
you on that
starting
one.
off good for me, retaining my title.
Now,
next up, Pac and Cody Rhodes versus Malachi Black and Andrade El Idolo.
A surprise addition to the show that we weren't going to get before yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a second here to redo my confidence points because you threw me off now.
Oh, see? Hey, this is what champions do.
That's
why I'm the champ. I'm prepared and I'm ready to go.
You know what? I'm going to stick with the original grade for that one and or confidence points for that one and the winners for that. I'm going Black and Andrade for 4.
I got Black and Andrade as well, but only for 2.
Okay.
Only for 2. I'm not, because I'm like, they got to keep in. These are 2 strong heels. You got to keep building your heels in your company. But Cody hadn't won he did win match number 3 against Malachi, but besides that, he hadn't won a big match in a while. And Cody Rhodes is 0 for 2 in Full Gear matches. Dropped the TNT title belt last year, Full Gear. Darby Allin, year before, lost the AEW World Championship match to Chris Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
So is this the pay-per-view? Cody just can't get over the hump.
Yeah.
Next, we got the Minnesota Street Fight. The Inner Circle versus the Men of the Year and America Top Team.
Originally, I had already picked my winner for this as being American Top Team until last night. I think the fact that Jericho was forced to tap out, he didn't actually tap out himself by his own move, and then Daniel Lambert calling it a Boston Crab, not the Walls of Jericho. I think that's going to light a fire under him. So I went with Inner Circle, but I only went for 3 points.
I'm going Inner Circle for 9.
Ooh.
I think it's just written on the wall, especially with the angle last night. I think it's too apparent. The Inner Circle is going over, and then Lambert and America Top Team are going bye-bye.
Well, good.
They've got a lot
here, obviously, but the rest of them can leave.
They got a length out of this. I mean, they fought at Arthur Ashe, other venues. It's time to put a wrap on it.
Of course, I think people would be okay with Paige Van Zant coming on to AEW.
Oh, I would.
But the rest of them can leave.
Yeah. Well, Junior DeSantos, he looked good in that match at Arthur Ashe, a Grand Slam. So, anxious to see what he does. Orlowski, I don't know. Never really seen him wrestle before. So, interested to see what those guys bring to the table on Saturday. And Lambert's taking the pin.
Oh,
Saturday.
yeah.
That's definitely how it ends.
There are 2 ways this is going to go. Jericho's going to eat the pin or Lambert's going to eat the pin. There's no other way.
Right.
It would make anybody else look weak.
Christian Cage in Jurassic Express versus Super Click.
Mm-hmm. Super Click. 2 points.
I have Super Click for 8.
Okay. A little bit more confident in them, huh?
Yeah, I just don't think there's any way they lose this match. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me to have them lose this match. I mean, keep building Adam Cole up, keep building the Bucks up.
And that's the thing. Jurassic Express and Cage, they can all eat losses at this point and it won't hurt their career. Adam Cole's too new. It would
Right.
hurt his career. I mean, they've got the one loss against the Dark Order, but that's beyond the point. He didn't take the pin for that.
And here's my other prediction. Christian Cage turns heel.
Ooh. Think he'll turn on the Jurassic Express.
Yep.
Or
and
who will it be on?
on Jungle Boy.
Okay.
So we get a Christian Jungle Boy feud.
Okay. I'm all for that, honestly.
Yep. I think Christian his character needs freshened up a little bit.
Yeah, and this can all stem back to, Jungle Boy beat Christian when Christian wanted gold. And then Jungle Boy screwed it up. So that could be sitting in the back of Christian's mind, like, I gave you an opportunity, you screwed it up. Screw you.
This next match should be a fun one. Darby Allin versus MJF.
MJF for 9.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. I have MJF for 1.
I'm riding and dying by MJF.
Why?
This is what screwed me in the first place, but I did it again anyway, and I'm probably going to screw myself. But MJF's undefeated.
Yeah.
Do you have Darby be the first person to get that win over him?
Well, if there's anybody to get that win, Darby's a good one, but Darby can eat. Darby doesn't necessarily need wins. His character can afford L's. But here's why I put 1 point on it. I think, and maybe it's not yet, the Wardlow turn's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe another seed's planted here. Could the seed be Wardlow accidentally cost MJF the match?
Ooh. I'm riding or dying by
it somehow.
Yep. Once again, I'm riding or dying on my championship by MJF. So he screws me 2 in a row. I will never pick MJF again, even if he is a guarantee. There's no way he's losing this match because it's a squash match. I'm still picking the opponent.
This should be a good one for the tag team titles. The Lucha Bros against FTR.
I have battled with confidence points on this all day. It has been back and forth between whether I went with the Lucha Bros or FTR. It went from 10 to now, which it is at 1, and I went with the Bros.
We're not disagreeing on the results of these matches. I went for the Lucha Bros. I went for 4 points.
Okay.
I think this 2 years in a row, FTR loses tag team title match at Full Gear.
Yeah.
I just don't.
They've got AAA. Why do they need AEW?
Right, and I think the Lucha Bros hold the tag team titles until 2022. Then somebody gets it from them.
Yeah, and I think it'll be a younger team.
Yep.
No offense against FTR, they're still fairly young guys, but I think it'll be an up and coming team of some sort.
The women's world championship match: Dr. Britt Baker, DMD versus Tay Conte. I
went Britt Baker.
I did too.
For 10.
I did too. There's no way Britt's losing this match. No. This was the easiest one by far to pick. Tay Conte is great. Great challenger, but I don't know. I feel like could have got Thunder Rosa or even in a J, somebody a little more ready for the moment. But
see, here's my thought process. Thunder Rosa ends up winning the TBS championship. And then we're going to get Thunder versus Britt. And we're going to get our first ever 2-belt champion in Thunder Rosa.
That'd be pretty cool. I'm still sticking with either Jade or Ruby winning the TBS.
I want to, but I don't know. Just it feels like Thunder Rosa's time.
Yep.
But I would love to see it on Ruby.
I mean, it's a great problem to have in AEW women's division. A lot of good candidates to take the first ever TBS championship. A year ago, they couldn't have said that. So
right, exactly. A year ago, they weren't even sure what they were going to do with the women's division. They had an inky dinky little rinky belt.
Right.
Look at it now.
A match I'm really looking forward to. A match that just got signed last Friday on Rampage with the promo of the year between CM Punk and Eddie Kingston. It is CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston.
Well, I'd hope it was CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston.
I was
I hope he
explaining
didn't
what I
win.
thought what the promo of the year was, but yeah, wasn't the
Yeah.
most perfect segue there.
Punk for 8.
I have Punk for 6. I kind of hope Eddie wins. I think that'd be great because Punk's going to lose his first match eventually in AEW.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think Eddie would be a great guy for him to lose it too. But who do I realistically think is going to hand Punk his first loss? MJF.
Okay. I can
I
agree
don't know
with that.
when, but eventually.
I can agree with that. Yeah, I think MJF will be the one to hand Punk his first loss. And I want that to be the heel turn for Punk when he loses to MJF. Because Punk claims, I've said since before Punk joined, that I want to see Punk versus MJF, the best in the world versus I'm better than you and you know it.
Mm-hmm.
I want Punk to lose to MJF. And I'm a huge Punk mark, so this is, crazy for me to say. I want MJF to grab the mic after the match, stand over him, and go, and now I've proven I'm better than you, and now you know it. Drop the mic, walk out. Punk just walk backstage and come out heel next time.
Yeah, I think we'll eventually get a heel Punk eventually. It might be a ways down the road, let all the...
As long as we don't get straight edge society
return.
again.
Yeah, get all the happy return out of the system and let it have it.
Are we ever going to get the happy return out of his system?
7 years is a long time, so we might not.
It might be.
Like to see the guy having fun.
Yeah, it might be at least the end of 2022 before we see this. So,
the finals for the AEW Eliminator Tournament. So the winner of this is the number 1 contender for the AEW World Championship, Bryan Danielson against Miro.
Bryan Danielson for 6. He's still too new to eat the loss. And remember, Miro's not supposed to be there.
I know he's not.
This is supposed to be Mox.
I
if
think
it was Mox, I was picking Mox over Danielson.
Oh, Mox was ready for a heel turn.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. He'd hinted at it every week for the last, 3 months. So
that's why I'm taking Miro for 3.
Ooh.
There's what could be the deciding factor in this whole thing right there. I know he wasn't supposed to be there, but
yeah.
And I will explain more after this next match, which is the World Heavyweight Championship match, the main event, the story that's been going on for about a year. Kenny Omega defending against Hangman Adam Page.
Well, I'm hoping the internet's right because I went Hangman for 7.
I went with Hayner for 7 as well. It's his time. It's his time. It was gonna be his time at All Out, and him leaving for the birth of his baby pushed things back. It's his time, and I think Miro's the first perfect challenger for him.
Okay.
And I think when I think of Miro challenging for it, I'm thinking like Winter is Coming or a big special Dynamite. Maybe it's the first one they have on TNT in 2022. I don't look at Miro as a pay-per-view main event challenger for it. I look at him more for a Dynamite. And this is just me projecting here. So I think Page goes over Miro. Adam Cole then is Page's next opponent for the title. Page goes over him. Then MJF takes the title off Hangman.
Ooh.
That's my long story prediction there.
Then if MJF is eventually going to have gold, who's going to beat MJF for the Dynamite Diamond? Because he'll have to eat a loss to drop that Dynamite Diamond.
Well, it's a battle royal.
Yeah.
So he doesn't necessarily have to lose. I mean, he will lose by not winning, but he doesn't get pinned.
Right.
Maybe Wardlow gets it.
I'd be okay with that. Comes down to like Wardlow, MJF, and one other guy. And MJF, being MJF, says, Wardlow, throw him out, throw yourself out. MJF turns around, walks to the ropes, and Wardlow throws him out instead.
Yep, something like that.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
That's my, I've seen some people suggest, and it would be crazy if AEW did this. Hangman wins next week. Dynamite's in Virginia, where Hangman's from. Have MJF take the title from him then.
Ooh.
And Hangman barely have it. Kind of give the fans what they want, take it right away. But Miro would be the number one contender if he wins. So I don't see that happening. And
Exactly.
if they had Omega win, then yeah, Bryan Danielson makes total sense to have him go over Miro.
Well, and I'm starting to second guess myself here. Because one, I'm going to take 2 quotes from my interview with Black here. And they're not exact quotes, but he said, wrestling is an ever-changing business.
Mm-hmm.
You have plans, they change.
Sure.
Miro instead of Moxley. But he said it could be me attacking Omega to go for gold.
Yeah.
So maybe Omega does win this. Maybe you retain because I get too many wrong guesses.
It'll be interesting. I mean, we only differed on one match. That was the Bryan Danielson and Miro match.
Well, yeah, because you're a huge Miro fan.
I just like what they're doing with them right now.
Yeah. So
we'll see. Because I don't
Black
think the loss
spoiled it.
Could have, or does he know
something we don't know,
or is he fooling all of us? And he said Kenny Omega, wanting us to think Kenny's going to retain when really Hangman's. The way Dynamite went off the air last night in an old school wrestling booking, the guy who goes over
Hangman
on the
wins.
segment the week of loses the title.
Yep.
So, and I know AEW likes to swerve us once in a while, but there's a lot of those moments last night. So,
which is why I said, does Rampage become the new go home show? Because if that's the case and they do stuff tomorrow night, I forgot it's Thursday already. If they do stuff tomorrow night that indicates more of a go home show, then all of our predictions could be completely wrong.
Well, they could. And that's a chance we're always willing to take with doing these a little early. But
yeah. And here's the thing I got to say. This has been the first pay-per-view in a while that I struggled to pick.
No, it feels good. I think All Out was really predictable. So
it was. And MJF screwed me. That's all I got to say.
Isn't it crazy to think this? Like, I feel like Full Gear gets looked at as like the least, I don't want to say least important, but like out of the 4, it gets looked down upon the most. And I think it has the most stacked card every single year.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. Like, I know everybody wants to talk about what's the WrestleMania of AEW, and you can make a strong case it's Double or Nothing or All Out. But man, all of them hold their own in a way. And I think Full Gear's, their match card's always really, really good.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Every Full Gear has been a stacked card. I will say,
can you tell me what the main event of Full Gear was last year?
No.
Moxley over Eddie Kingston.
Really?
Yep. Remember when Mox put the barbed wire around his hand, choked out Eddie? I
didn't realize that was Full Gear.
Yep.
See, you can't do 2020 to me. I forget 2020 happened.
I know it's we had 2 title changes at Full Gear last year. Cody lost TNT to Darby, and the Bucks beat FTR for the tag titles.
Yep. To become heels shortly after.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, they've been heels that long already. God.
Yeah, well, Kenny's had a title since December.
Yeah. And the Bucks won before Kenny did.
And the Bucks turned heel January-ish. Late January.
Yeah, because
they were reluctant to join
the
Good Brothers and Callis, but they did eventually.
Right. Because they won. Kenny won by cheating.
Mm-hmm.
See, I remember that.
Yep.
Microphone to the forehead.
Yep.
And then they were just kind of hesitant. No, not really.
They went full in.
They went from we're Christian AF to you in like an hour.
Yep. So, any final thoughts as we wrap this up?
It's going to be a great pay-per-view. I'm looking forward. I won't be watching it live. I will be in Warsaw at the CCAC as Rip Ryerson. So I know we had some questions a couple weeks ago about Rip Ryerson. And yes, indeed, I am Rip Ryerson. I will be there Saturday night doing my thing. So I will be watching back after. So I've got to stay away from Twitter while I'm sitting in the back.
Turn the phone off.
It will be.
Or no notifications or something.
I think Twitter's getting no notifications until Sunday, just in case I don't get to watch it until Sunday. But
smart.
I'm looking forward to this pay-per-view. I'm looking forward to that belt you've got on your shoulder coming right here where it belongs.
You're going to have to keep dreaming or come after in 2022 because I slipped up Double or Nothing. I won the first one at Revolution, slipped up at Double or Nothing, but that's not going to happen again. So I won it back at All Out. And this is my first defense since.
Yeah, I know, chicken. I had 2 successful defenses.
You did. You're more of a fighting champion than me, but I demand the big bucks. Put the title on the line, and it's time. It's time.
Mm-hmm.
Shades are on. We mean business.
Yeah, that's for sure. You got the long sleeve zip up shirt on, and
we mean business.
Yeah,
we're back in black.
Yeah, until that's on my shoulder next Wednesday.
We will see.
I'm saying MJF screws me. I will never pick MJF for anything ever again. And I mean that. I don't care if it's some Joe Blow local guy who's coming in and we're for some odd reason making predictions for this, and MJF in action normally indicates it's a local talent. I will pick the local talent. I don't care.
MJF only wrestles about, I think he's only had like 5 or 6 matches to date this year. So
yeah,
he hadn't had too many.
Yeah. And he screwed me on one.
Go Darby, go, kind of, even though because I only have MJF for one. So
yeah, see, if Darby wins, you're still safe.
Yep.
I would have to get every other match correct. It'll come down to MJF versus Darby Allin and Bryan Danielson versus Miro. So who's going to be champion?
Definitely could. Yep. It's going to be fun to follow. Looking forward to it.
Yep. I'm looking forward to texting you Sunday going, you need to deliver that belt to my address immediately.
Keep dreaming.
We'll see.
It's pretty comfortable over my left shoulder here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It'll be on my right shoulder next Wednesday. Don't worry.
All right. I'm not worried one bit. Feels pretty good right here.
We'll see.
So why don't you wrap us up there, Paul?
Yeah, don't forget, follow us on all social media at Kicking Out Pod. Listen to us wherever you listen to your podcast at. If it happens to be Apple Podcast, I can talk tonight. Give us a like, leave us a review. That helps us out. Follow Tanner Lee at Tanner Lee 92 on all social media so that you can congratulate him on losing his title on Sunday or Saturday.
Hashtag and still. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say.
Hashtag and new. Follow me at Paul Zartman 921 on all social media. Big shout out to Tony Khan and the guys for putting on a great show last night in Indianapolis. And big shout out to Cody for taking time to take a selfie with me.
Yes, so very cool. That man's new cover photo on your Facebook.
Yep, I've followed that man's career since he debuted. So it was kind of a special little moment for me last night.
Very cool.
Join us again next week as we kick out yet another podcast with a new champion.
Funny.